Hi everyone, my name's Kelley Eidem, and this is my first video where I've appeared on camera. I'm clueless about the technology of these kinds of things. The camera's going to move in and out, and it's a little fuzzy, but I hope you'll watch this because the content that I have to offer you is going to be so phenomenal. In the history of cancer, I think you're going to find this could be the greatest discovery ever made. Now, I know that sounds kind of extraordinary, far-fetched, however you want to describe it, because we're so used to cancer treatments being complicated and painful and making people sick. And, you know, NIH spends multi-billions of dollars on research on cancer, plus the drug companies are spending tremendous amounts of money in research in colleges and universities. So we think it has to be something really complicated. Well, I'd like you to keep an open mind. I've got a few points here to touch on. Cancer's been with us for thousands and thousands of years, probably since the beginning of man. And in the last 100 years, it's just struck millions of people, hundreds of millions of people, even here in the United States, people dying from it. And almost all of them end up dying a very painful death or drugged out of their minds. So there's just been just about no progress. It seems like the treatments are killing people faster than just letting people not be treated. So, but I've come across something, and I'll get into that in a minute, but I want to tell you first about how every doctor accepts the idea that if a person has scurvy, that they can be treated with oranges and lemons. There's no doctor who doesn't accept that. Now, scurvy is more deadly than cancer. It's a horrible condition to have. Fortunately, it was discovered, the cure for scurvy was discovered back in 1732 when a doctor treated 6 sick sailors, let's try saying that 3 times fast, with oranges and lemons. And 2 of the 6 sailors recovered in about less than a week, and then they ran out of the oranges and lemons. This was up in England where they didn't have, like you just don't go to the grocery store back in 1732 and buy oranges and lemons. And so 2 out of the 6. Every doctor accepts that. There was no study done of 100,000 patients or 1,000 patients. It was accepted on what today they would refer to as anecdotal evidence. Well, it was real evidence. It was anecdotal and it was real. Okay, so now let me tell you my story. I am the author of a book called The Doctor Who Cures Cancer. And 2 years after I wrote the book, I actually came down with stage 4 cancer. That was back in '98. And from what I knew from writing the book and from other things I'd learned, I decided one of the things I decided to use was habanero peppers and garlic. And within 2 weeks, my cancer was cleared up. Okay? Well, because of that, I've started sharing it online and answering people's questions about it and helping people that way. And we fast forward now, a couple of years ago, I started having trouble speaking. It was irritating to speak, and I was having a little bit of trouble swallowing. Went to the doctor. I'd had this for months, and she noticed that my thyroid, something about it, and so she had an ultrasound done, and they found a suspicious hard nodule there. And so I decided, well, heck, you know what I'm going to do? There's a product, it's called Sinus Buster, and it contains capsaicin. So I wanted to do a little experiment on myself, and I used the product. I'll hold up the box here. I don't own this product. I bought it just like you would. I don't own stock in the company. I don't get paid to tell you about it. In no way, shape, or form do I get any money from telling you about Sinus Buster. Okay? It's a nasal spray for your sinuses, but it puts capsaicin directly into your bloodstream through the nasal passages. So I thought I would try it to see if it would have an effect. because I knew that capsaicin from the peppers that I use and the capsaicin that's in garlic, that it helped me quite a bit. It got rid of my cancer, and it's gotten rid of cancer for other people. So I used the Sinus Buster, and in 2 weeks all my symptoms had cleared up. I didn't have trouble swallowing, didn't have trouble speaking. And that stayed that way for maybe up to a year. And then it came back, and I used it again for about a week. It cleared up again. Third time it came back, cleared up again, very quickly. So I thought, wow, this is fantastic. Well, originally, the very first time it happened, I started telling people who were writing into me in comments. I'm having hundreds of people coming in every day reading this article that I've written about how I treated myself. And I recommended it, but it just sounded too far out. It was, how could this be? How could something so easy, simple, whatever you want to call it? I mean, if all the doctors in the world and all the researchers in the world couldn't find a cure, how is it possible that some guy here, as you can see me in my basically kitchen area, accomplished this? Okay? So nobody wanted to believe it, and nobody tried it that I know of. Well, finally, 2 years later, Maria, she's reading through the comments, she sees it, and she goes for it. Now, she had breast cancer and was causing sharp pain in her breast. And within the first day of using it, she noticed her pain was greatly reduced. And then she wrote back a few weeks later, maybe 2 weeks later, and she says her pain is entirely gone. She believes that her cancer is gone too, and that except for one little spot, a lymph node or a lymph was swollen, but it was also getting smaller. And I'm guessing that by now it's probably all gone in the last 2 weeks. When she did that, then Dan Severson, who was suffering from cancer, he was suffering from tremendous pain because he had prostate cancer that spread to multiple bone sites, his spine, his shoulder, his pelvis. He's had pain in his groin from the cancer, I guess, growing there, also in his thigh. So he decided to use his first cancer pain. And let me reiterate or say that what I'm talking about is reducing cancer pain. I'm not saying this is going to cure your cancer, okay? Let me be very clear about that, okay? But that's huge to get rid of your pain, isn't it? So that's what we're going for. So he starts using it. He runs to the store. It doesn't run, but he drives to the store, gets in his car, can't wait to get home, sprays in his nose while he's sitting in his car. And I'd like to be able to tell you that, he was completely pain-free. Well, that didn't happen. In fact, he didn't notice anything, which is not surprising. So he waited 3 or 4 hours, got home. After he got home, and he tried it again. And then an hour after that second application, all of a sudden he realized, wow, I'm not in pain. Now, this is a man who has not been able to sleep for months, or barely able to sleep, because of the pain that he was suffering from. His pain had really reduced quite a bit to where it was really manageable. Before he started to go to bed, the pain started coming back a little bit, which, not surprising. So he took another application, and you know that he slept that night for the first time in months because his pain was so far reduced. And then when we spoke again, maybe 3 days later, his pain was almost entirely gone except for one spot in his shoulder. He said that the pain is like a gnawing pain, like something was gnawing on his bones. But now everything had cleared up except for a little bit of that in his shoulder. Then another woman, also by the name of Maria, she tried this. Before I even get to Maria, I just want to say that what Dan experienced is phenomenal. It's phenomenal, isn't it? I mean, it's truly extraordinary. And the same thing with Maria with the breast cancer pain. Each example is extraordinary. Okay? Then this Maria, she's the fiance of Scott Nyman. She's so sick that he was doing all the writing, getting questions answered. She not only had stage 3 gastric cancer that was laying her out most of the time, but she also, in the process of trying to get well, she was on my recipe and she was getting better. She was attacked by muggers who beat her severely. She even had some maybe possible brain injury. Okay, and that's terrible. When you get a physical violence like that, it can affect your metabolism. That makes it very difficult to recover from cancer. But he contacted me to tell me that she is now pretty much pain-free between using the Sinus Buster and some other things. The lipospheric vitamin C is one of the things that he was using. So we got 3 people, 4 people if you count me, who have had really very interesting, amazing results. And if you count the 4 of us, that's twice as many results as the doctor got in 1732. Okay? Now, I don't know that this Sinus Buster is going to work for you. I'm not diagnosing you. I'm not prescribing it to you. I'm just telling you what has happened so far. But we could be onto something really huge here. Okay, if you know someone in your family or friend that has cancer pain, this is something that they're going to want to hear about. They're going to want to hear this video so that they can make their own decision. I should tell you that Dr. Vervisi, that's the person I wrote the book about, when he treated patients, when he was able to reduce their pain, their cancer also cleared up. Now, I'm not saying the Sinus Buster will reduce the cancer, but you can draw your own conclusions about that. You might disagree with me on that. You might think it does get rid of the cancer. That's up to you to decide. Oh, a lady also wrote in to say that she had trigeminal neuralgia, which some people say is the worst physical pain on the planet. It's a facial pain, and she'd had it for 2 years, and she started using Sinus Buster, and somehow it has cleared up the pain for her. She said when she put her glasses on, she didn't get the pain. Touching the spot, the trigger point, she didn't have the pain. So what we're doing here is you and I are on an adventure. We are going to see if more people could try this so we can get more feedback to see if we're really on to the biggest discovery in cancer pain in the history of cancer. And the way that you can do that is that down below there's a link that says lowerpain.org, not .com, but .org. You click on that, it'll tell you more about how to use the Sinus Buster, how not to use it, that sort of thing. And if you use it, or your family member uses it, please let us know, give us some comments about their results. And maybe we can get this to go viral. We can help a lot of people. Each year, I don't know how many people get cancer. There's over 1 million people get cancer. Something like 600,000 people die. And all of those 600,000 suffering before they die. Maybe we can help. I don't know if it's 1%, 10%, 50%, 100%, but it's so simple that if we can relieve the pain of someone in your family, I think that's what you care about, right? Or a relative. So go to the lowerpain.org link down below and go there and find out more about it. And let's see if we can't make a difference. By the way, I should mention my book right now, for a limited time at least, is listed on Kindle for $2.99. You don't even have to have a Kindle to do that. You can just go to free Kindle app, and on Google, do a Google search for free Kindle app, and you can read my book for $2.99. People have said that my book is the best book they've ever read in its category. One person paid $1,000 for my book. Another person paid $580 for the book. It's a very good book. But anyway, that's just a little plug there for what I'm doing. That's how I make my living. just people buying my, ordering my book. But go ahead and go to lowerpain.org. The link is down there. I've also got the link, if you want to order my book down there as well. And I'd be glad to answer questions, particularly if you're using the product. I know it sounds like, how could this possibly be? But I just want to assure you that people have tried it, and there's really nothing to lose. You spray it in your nose, it stings a little bit for a few seconds, and who knows? Who knows what it will do for you? It may change your life. So let's get this to go viral, because there's a lot of people out there who are wanting to know about this. As you can see by where I live, I don't have a big budget to just spend $1 million to promote this for everybody. So it's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to you to make it happen. I can make the video, but I can't get it to everybody. But if everybody here gets it to people, then we've done our job, and we've helped a lot of people. I'm rambling on here, so I'm going to cut it short. I think I'll end it. Did I miss? Let me look at my notes, see if I missed anything. I think that covers everything. It's just, I guess, one thing I do want to emphasize. I can't describe how immense this could be. Just like oranges and lemons cure scurvy, maybe capsaicin cures cancer pain. Okay, and if we can get rid of the cancer pain, I'm not sure what else might happen as well. Well, God bless. Thank you for hanging in there this long. Go down to lowerpain.org, click on that, and also click on ordering my book if you like. And let's really make this a banner day, a huge day. If that lovely young lady, Rebecca Black, could get 100 million YouTube video watches, let's see if we can do as well. So I'm not as pretty as she is, but maybe this is pretty for the person who's getting it, because they're going to feel great and they're going to feel marvelous, and that's what it's all about. Thank you again, and God bless you. Let's do this.